Welcome to Ain't Scared Garage. Day 4. It's raining. This pilot bearing was a total bitch. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Right now I'm ready to put the flywheel on. A new flywheel, when you're doing this particular job, if you got to pull the transmission, do everything. On a Ford, the flywheels are off-center drilled, so they go on a certain way and that's it. I think that's it, right where I have it. Just gonna put one in just so that it stays, and then we can see. It would appear that I'm wrong. Well, that I am right. Yeah. So, it's not on straight yet. That was done because originally the flywheel had a weight on it that counterbalanced the one on the front, and that's how Ford balanced the motors back in the day. But I guess they still do it. It's rare when you can't see it. Alright, I think I might have it this time. When you take it apart, you'll notice something. See that different head? That's what we have to fit here. So I know dang on well, I bought thread locker the other day. Have no idea where it is. I'd run out and get new.
Yeah.
When you put these on, you want to make sure that you have thread locker on. I'm not talking to you. You know that.
Yes, dear.
This is the gel. This is all I freaking had. I don't know what the hell the difference is in the gel and the rest of it. I guess we ought to get ready to tighten these up.
Yeah.
I believe the
Torque spec?
torque wrench is in the trunk of my car.
Doesn't run all over the place. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Is
So
it
you
the
want to look,
trunk of-
it is open.
It wouldn't be your trunk if it was.
That's where all the tools are. Either that or on the floor of the truck. So what we do is we put the thread locker on there. You want it all the way down the end. So just like that. And I just kind of put a line there. You don't worry about it because spreading it all around, because it'll get spread around when you put it in here and thread it in. Basically the same operation as anti-seize. We're just doing exactly the opposite thing with it. You can tell these because they have this kind of head on them. Now, if you want some kind of official word on what kind of head that is, I have no clue. I'm sure there's a word for it, but I don't know what the heck it is. All right, now we gotta find a torque wrench. $17, $13, $15. If I keep going, I'll hit it.
Yeah, right.
Dang it. No, it ain't 19. I got a 19 wrench here. That don't fit. Well, it will be using one of the ones that aren't metric anyway, because I don't have any metric half inch. All I got is the regular ones.
Are they back in the bag?
No, they're laying on the floor in the plastic case. 11/16. All right, let's see that torque wrench. 75 to 80, 85, huh? All right, well, we are set to 80. Falls right in the middle. Definitely gonna need a hand down here.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm on this.
I could barely get 60 out of that.
Really?
Well, somebody has to hold this flywheel from turning.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Get your butt down here. If you get a second person to grab a screwdriver and stick it in where the starter teeth are on the flywheel, and then hold it up against a bolt or anything that you might get hands on there to hold the thing from turning, then you can grab the torque wrench and torque away and the flywheel won't move. Yeah. One more. Just to double check everything. Come on. Dang it. All right. Flywheel is now in. All right. Now, next thing we do, we grab the brake clean, which is here somewhere. Ouch. We take these little plastic caps off. Now, what we don't want to spray it is up in here because that's greased. I'll spray it again now. And you don't want that grease to come off of that bearing, so we don't want to make sure it doesn't get up in there. All right, there we go. Dry that off real quick there, because these come with protective coating on them, and you want it off of this flywheel. It's just like when you do your brakes, you don't want any oils or anything on the caliper when you put it back together, or the drum, either way, whatever you got. So that's clean. That stuff, it comes right off with brake clean, but yeah, you do have to clean it off. Y'all know me, you know I don't usually blast companies. CarQuest. You know where you can get it. Don't get it. This clutch kit did not come with a clutch alignment tool. We can't find one to buy. I'll show you how to make one up out of junk, but you should just have come with one. Because in the past 20 years, I have not bought one single clutch kit didn't come with an alignment tool. This is garbage. Here's what we have. This is an extension, an old extension that I cut off. This will go inside of the pilot bearing. This fits inside the clutch. This goes like that. And we now have a pilot bearing tool. We should have one in the kit, but at least we have something we can use. Learn to use what you got. You never know when this crap happens. All right, so we made a tool. This fits in the pilot bearing. This fits in the clutch. So now we got a tool. This fits tightly in there. So that's going to be our alignment tool. All right, the clutch, when you go to put it in, the spring side is going to go down this hole here. The side that's flat, that goes up against your firewall. Now, clean this off with some brake clean. There's a little rust on it, so we ran a little sandpaper over it to make sure that we got the rust off. We want a nice smooth surface, and that's what it feels like now, because this has a coating on it, just like the flywheel did. And my alignment tool here. Alright, let's see what we're gonna do here. Now, let's find some bolts. All I know is that I'm gonna put this damn clutch in. while you do that. I gotta find the bolts first. This is why I usually, when I'm working with Paul today, take all the bolts, put them somewhere, every one of them, so that I can sort them out and figure out what goes into what. Yeah, I'm not worried about torquing this down. It's not that important. I just put them in tight, and I'm going to put Loctite on them also, so nothing's going to come out. All right. This is always bare. All right, that's another heavy part. It's putting this up in here. There's pins here that this actually rests on. Right? Gotta get one of the right ones. That's one. And you, obviously not the right one. That pin should be perfect, should be that one. All right, come on, clutch. That goes there. And that goes there, and that goes there. Got to be contortionist to get this damn bolt. I need at least one of these in. Now that'll hang. Now what did we do with that Loctite? There it is. All right, bolt. So where it gets interesting, we'll see if our little redneck fix will work here. Redneck clutch alignment tool. Guess what? The clutch is aligned. I know it sounds like I'm surprised. It's only because well, I am. It's just inside. That clutch is aligned.
Just like that. You don't have to
That worked.
turn it and
Now,
see it.
what this does here is it just goes on the pin, goes through the pilot bearing, and then a tool would then get bigger to come back. That would actually have splines in it that fit the clutch.
Right.
So that when you put this here, then you tighten the clutch down. Once the clutch is tightened down, you ain't moving it. Then it's dead center, so that when we put the transmission in, that this here will go, if my camera will stay up straight, this here will go straight in. So now I just need to tighten it down. And the camera's going to be
Just fine.
a little biatch. There. I don't know that it matters, but I tend to tighten them down a little bit and then just kind of go around, because I just, I want to make sure everything lines up nice and neatly. You just kind of got to hold on to that and do this until you feel the tension. Because what happens is now we're going to be pulling the tension down onto the clutch itself. And I'm just feeling the edges to make sure they're all about the same. It sits just slightly outside of the pressure plate. It's just slightly outside the pressure plate. And again, how about it? Yep, just slightly outside the pressure plate. So I know that we are in straight. Now it's time to tighten these bolts up once we get them all tightened down. There's torque specs that go with this. You should probably use them. I'm just going to tighten it on down. We put Loctite on them. They're not going to loosen up. I'm just going to tighten them down nice and tight. Okay, that's going to come out easily, looks like, which is what I want. And if you can see, there's a pin here that's coming through that hole. There's going to be another pin up there you probably can't see. Another one right here. They align the pressure plate. This aligns the clutch. So you need the tool, and it should come with the kit. Make sure that it does, because otherwise you might not have enough junk to cut up, and you don't want to cut your junk up anyway. Honestly, it's, it probably costs $10-15 to buy one. They're made of plastic. It probably costs 50 cents to make one. Why they didn't put one in it, I don't know. This takes a while, and some people may just go zip, 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 just tighten them all down, but I want to make sure everything's right. Last thing I want to do is pull a transmission again, just because of some dumb stuff. So, we got these two bolts on top. We've gone online, I'm sure you've seen people, by the way, on the lift, putting long extensions on, getting there. I'm just saying it didn't work. We tried it. It would have been the easiest way. So we got this. This was the only thing. It's a 3/8, not a ½ inch. ½ inch is going to be too big. 3/8 breaker bar. Be long enough. You need it because it's got to, I'm going to come close here. When we get down in there, in order to get it on, it's got an angle like this. So you can't use a ratchet because you won't have any room. It's got an angle like this. So, and then you pray that out of everything that's fought us on this car, these two bolts at least were decent. They went right in, went right out. You're gonna have to jack the back of the engine up so you can get to them. And then it's a matter of inches. And that one is going to be a and the socket fell off. I'm guessing it's on the top of the transmission, which means we gotta let the transmission down again to get to it. Transmission down so we can get to it. Now can we get to it? Got it. Got it? Okay, I was about to head and get the magnet. All right, now we got to back the transmission up.
Take two.
Yep. Now bring the transmission all the way up till it stops. You want to have as much room as possible. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see off of that little camera. It's there. But kind of hard to see up in here. Oh boy. Yeah, you're going to be something. Oh man. That was going to be something. It really is. Make sure that I got this one tight. Line. Oh, and you have to have a short socket. Long well won't do it. Seemed to me that was easier to get to when we took it off.
Again.
This was what made it easier.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't there.
All right, get rid of that. All right, get in here.
You sure don't want to try over here?
Oh, man.
I got a perfect deal.
Give it a whirl.
I'm too short, and you got.
Okay. Ah. This wasn't yours, was it?
What? That one?
This.
The breaker bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so.
Means there's a longer one here. Yep.
No, 3/8.
That's the one I bought. There. That's why I was having such a hard time. There. Hold that.
Got it.
This is what was causing me the trouble. I need a real one. The other one's about this long, so you can only get your fingertips on. This one you can hold. I'll try it from this side again. This is where I got it from before. Now I got it loose. Like I said, the only thing that really went right for us on here with these two bolts. Once we got them loose, they were finger tight, and we could, I mean, they were easy enough to work with the fingers, so we could take them out without having to wrench them the whole way. And they went in the same way. Now we got to finish it though, because you got to finish tightening it up. And we're close. It's getting tight now. Maybe one more. I'm just trying to remember here that I'm not on the end of a little short ass ratchet. The business end of a long ass breaker bar. I don't see that needing any more. I get this one. Top bolts are tight. I got 2 to check underneath. The 3 on that side are done. I just gotta make sure that these 2 over here are done. So just so you know, you got 1, 2 on this side. You got the 2 on the top, and there's 3 on the other side. I know it's odd, but you know, you would think it'd be the even amount of bolts. It's not. There's 7 bolts. Not 6, not 8, 7. We didn't think we had to take this bar out. I'm just putting it back in now. So we left it in, and we were able to get the transmission out with it in, but we couldn't get the transmission in with it in. So just take this bar out when you start. Just 2 bolts here, 2 bolts on the other side, and just take it off. It'll make your life easier. Day 5, not counting the other night when Paul and I put a couple pieces on the car, but it's not raining. So off to the store to get some stuff at the Harbor Freight, and left Paul to start working on the car. That's how much he's gotten done. Yeah, I said day 5, it ain't raining, but it still rained. It just dribbled a little bit. It did rain. The sun shined again, but now that I said it, it's probably going to be a storm come over. We put the drive shaft up in because you put a drive shaft in, you put it up, you put the bolts on, and you're done. Wasn't a big deal. You didn't need to see that. Try not to bore you too much. The hydraulic line, which I'm going to show you how to do it right here. I made this little thing here because you have to get it up and then down in, and you can't get your hand up in there. I was able to get my hand up there enough to get it in where I needed it, but I couldn't pull it down into the hairpin and let it click. So I took this crow's foot here, and I just put this cardboard up in here, and I forced it down on the end of this extension. So that way it held, so it wouldn't just pop off when I did it. And then I was able to take this and put it up in there, put it over the thing and then pulled out and until it went snap and it was in place. Pick it back up, take it off. I'll show you how I did that. I don't know how much I can get up in there with the camera, but we'll see if we can. All right, this crazy car is together. So now we have to bleed the slave cylinder. Not a slave cylinder, it's actually the throw-up bearing. Ford, in their infinite wisdom, decided that it didn't need bleeder, so it doesn't have bleeder. So according to this page right here, that came straight out of the internet and off of the Mustang forums, and so you know that it's gospel. So I question whether it's out of the Ford manual or not. But it says you get a stopper that fits this, and they told me the wrong size because this doesn't fit this. Hopefully I can cut that down so it will go in there. And then you put a hose on it and you bring it up to 20 pounds of pressure and leave it there for 2 minutes. And work the clutch 5, 6, 7, 8 times slowly. And it takes the air out. All right, we did this crazy bleed thing. And it seems to have worked. We got a nice tight pedal. We'll find out if it's still tight tomorrow. But yeah, we got a nice tight pedal. Let's see, I need to put a little fluid back in there. This stopper was the wrong size, but I was able to hold it on there and pump it up and it was okay. Then you pump it 20 pounds and hold that for 2 minutes while you slowly pump the pedal. And so you might have to do it a couple times. And we did it a couple times. We attempted to bleed the bearing, but we weren't very successful. It just didn't work. Make sure it's in neutral. And let's start her up. Alright, now easily try to put it in first. Did it go in? Okay, pull it out and you can turn it off. We're ready to pull it down. Yep. Everybody I saw online said that first gear is the problem, that they were able to get it in second gear and then go with second gear, but they had a hard time getting it in first gear and they couldn't get it bled right. Right now it's going in first gear perfect. So since we're sitting on ramps, we can't really test it. We have to, we got to clean things up and bring the car down, and then we'll take it for a ride and see what we got. Yeah, it's off of the stilts. I'm gonna see if she goes in gear, goes in gear, goes in gear. That's a good sign. Slowly let that out and see what you get. All right, there you go. You got clutch. There we go. She's on the ground. Test drive time. All right, we're off for a test drive. Wish us luck. Paul learns how to redrive a clutch.
Yeah, when I learned how to
Relearns how to drive a clutch. you release closer to the floor now, right? Awesome. The only thing I would suggest is we'll get a good braking on it. Does it feel smooth when you release it? Yep. Good. No chattering. Awesome. Do you hear that noise you were hearing? All right. Yep. So we fixed that. That was exactly what was wrong. It was the throw out bearing. Yep. Got noisy. Well, that's going to do it for these 2 episodes of Ain't Scared Garage. We told you this thing was a bear, and it is. If you're up on a lift and got all your air tools, probably wouldn't be such a big deal. But being down on a driveway, just high off the ground, 2 fat guys trying to work underneath the car, it's a mess.
Off and on your knees. Do not forget that.
But the clutch is now releasing closer to the floor, which is what we want. And that silly bleed system, it seemed to work. I'm sending Paul home with the bleeder just in case tomorrow morning comes out and you got a flat clutch, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just want him to have it just in case. But we're finally done with this, and we're going to get back to Strappy, and before long, I promise you, we're going to do a will it start on the Mustang 2. We'll explain that, because while the car ran when I got it, the motor that I bought to put in it, well, we've never actually heard it run. We hear it runs good, that's what we're told. Anyway, and that was off of eBay, and you know everyone's honest on eBay.
Yeah,
so
because the internet never lies.
So we'll get to that, and there's a whole bunch of parts that I need to work on the 65, and that should be fun, because it's a lot of big jobs that we're gonna have to tear that thing apart. But I got to get that stupid truck on the road first. Yep. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. But for now, we're done. We got to clean this mess up. Will somebody come over and clean this mess up for us? Please. No? All right. Well, then we're going to have to just end it here. See ya.